Hello my friends and welcome back. It's Tuesday, so happy Tuesday to you. Last night there was a massive Ukrainian missile attack, well actually rocket attack, ATACMS attack to be true, against Crimea. 3 different targets against the peninsula, and all of them were S-300 and S-400 launchers and radars. Of course, when the attack happened there was plenty of explosions all over the peninsula. Nobody really knows what was targeted, but now we do. Since some time has passed, it's so nice to wake up. All of the fog of war has gone away. The sun has come up, but we know the results. I love that. Tonight, the defense forces of Ukraine carried out successful strikes against one S-400 anti-aircraft missile division in the Jankoi area, as well as 2 enemy S-300 anti-aircraft missile divisions near Chornomorske and Yevpatoria. On this map you can see all 3 areas where S-300 and S-400 were attacked. Ukrainian forces right now are seriously focusing on Russian anti-air defense capabilities. It has to be connected to the very soon arriving F-16, since the F-16 will need huge gaps in Russian air defense shields, and now these gaps are appearing. Of course, these are not only Ukrainian sources that claim this. Russian sources confirmed the fact that the missiles strike on the same locations which were claimed by Ukrainian general staff. As Russians claim, 12 ATACMS were used, but Russians do not share any information regarding the consequences of the attack. After midnight, Ukrainian formations once again attacked the Crimean peninsula. At least 12 ATACMS were fired from Mykolaiv region. And now, the full result of this attack, I'll read it to you. It is juicy, and it's not only that. Russian military, more specifically actually, the anti-aircraft defense crews of Crimea got an order to evacuate their families from the peninsula. But before, let's see the results of this attack. During an overnight missile attack on Crimea on June 10th, 2 S-300 complexes and 4 radars were damaged. 4 radars! Wow, wow, ooh la la! The attack involved at least 10 ATACMS missiles, none of which were intercepted. The strikes targeted locations of 31st Air Defense Divisions of the Russian Defense Ministry, resulting in 1 serviceman killed and 6 wounded. Specifically, 4 missiles hit the Jankoisky Rayon, damaging 2 radar stations and injuring 1 serviceman. Another 4 missiles struck Saksky Rayon, damaging military equipment and wounding another serviceman. And then there was the 3rd hit also. This was an incredibly successful attack for Ukrainians, an incredibly destructive attack for the Russians. Now, by the time the F-16 arrive, the work has been done. There is no capabilities to shoot down these F-16s because there's no launchers anymore. Russian air defense crews were told, or ordered actually, to evacuate their families from the Crimean peninsula. Now, this is the first time Russian military personnel has gotten an order to evacuate their families from the peninsula. This means Russian staff, military staff, knows how bad the situation is and how bad it can get very soon if the F-16 arrives. This order is very good indication to us that Ukraine has gotten through to them. Ukraine has hurt them very bad. The evacuation order is connected to the transfer of air defense systems to the Belgorod region, posing a threat to the security of Crimea and leaving it without proper coverage. This comes from the partisan movement Artem, which is operating in Crimea. This is not the only huge kaboom going on Russian soil or in Russian waters. This is a little hint for you of what's to come. Before we go on, my friends, as I promised, this is a fundraising week. Before my wedding, 22nd of June is my wedding. Up until that time, I'm launching 6 different fundraisers. 1 truck for each. Don't worry, it's not like 6 huge ones. It's just 1 truck for each one fundraisers, so 6 trucks together. I believe in you, my friends, and we can do it. And I want to let you know that the Combined Arms birthday party for Kraftwerk's drones and 6 trucks, the previous big fundraiser with these Artur's Army badges, all of the patches have been sent out. 2 days ago, all of the patches sent out. So you should be receiving yours very soon. Today I will introduce you to a legendary NAFO fella, Ukraine supporter and a member of LGBT community. He is representing the LGBT community in supporting Ukraine. He has already fundraised for one truck and now we have combined forces to fundraise for another. You can see it here, 20,000 is the goal. His name is Frank and I'll show you the video.
Hello everybody, my name is Frank Wilde. I'm from Berlin and I'm working as an international costume designer, wardrobe stylist and image creator. As you might know, I've been working with the NAFO guys for 2 fundraisers already, and as I was in Kyiv just a few weeks ago, I met Artur, who's one of my big heroes when it comes to supporting Ukraine. And as of 2 weeks ago, I've been to Estonia, as you can see from my hat.
He's a fan of Estonia. We met and he's a really nice guy, really friendly, and he believes in Ukrainian victory and that's all that matters. My friends, this truck will go to the security company of the 110th Brigade. And I want to show you, this is Frank, as you can see, this is me and Frank, but I want to show you the patch. This is us meeting in Kyiv. Alex Kinnish and Anna from Ukraine also. Legendary people, all of them. But check out the patch. This is it. Rehi Frank 3, number 3. Since the first fundraiser was this, second was Brandon, and now it's 3. You gotta collect these patches, my friend. If you donate more than 200 USD, you will get this Rehi Frank 3 patch. Go and donate, my friends. Let's get this done. And also, let's welcome the first LGBTQ member to the Artur's army and to the NAFO community. Let's get this to 20,000, my friends. Thank you. My friends, Russian ship went boom boom, bada bim bada boom. It was not connected to the Ukrainians, or was it? It was a little bit, because this ship, Admiral Levchenko, first of all, the name Levchenko is already Ukrainian. Second of all, this ship's engine was made in Mykolaiv, Ukraine. Mykolaiv is liberated by the Ukrainians, controlled by the Ukrainians. In any way, it is Ukraine. The ship was made before Mykolaiv was not Ukraine, made in the Soviet times. Now, this ship does not have any components and any maintenance because the factory is in Mykolaiv, Ukraine. And Russians don't really like maintenance. So this is why one beautiful night, yesterday actually, when it went out to its mission in the Barents Sea, which is up north, up from Sweden, Norway and Finland, the very Nordic Sea, it burst in flames. The engine room just burst in flames because it wasn't maintained. I'm not only talking about choppers and planes, they don't maintain, even ships. And this ship, anti-submarine ship, Admiral Levchenko, now burning in the Barents Sea. It's beautiful news, my friends. It is only for the fact that the Russians have not set up the capability for logistics and maintenance of this engine that is produced in Ukraine. Since they are at war with Ukraine now, the ship went kaboom. Beautiful. Waiting for more ships to do that. What do we see on this video, my friends? What do you think? It's a Russian soldier in his natural habitat, stealing a Ukrainian fridge, trying to get it back to Buryatia or wherever he's from the far east of Russia or from Siberia. Since they don't have fridges, this is a burnt motorcycle. They don't have those also. They don't have motorcycles. Since you need money for a motorcycle, they don't really got much of that in the far east of Russia. Roads are not paved. I don't know what he's even gonna do with this burnt motorcycle, but they're going to take it. This is just another video proving that Russian army is a looting, thieving army with no discipline. And here we can see how we can catch a Russian soldier. You gotta be a trap master. You gotta set this trap perfectly. Russian soldier comes in, wants to steal the washing machine, and boom, you pull down the box and he's like, "Ay, blядь," he's stuck. Admiral Levchenko, anti-submarine ship, burned in the Barents Sea because of malfunction in the engine room, because it wasn't maintained. Now I bring to you another story from yesterday. It's not over. Russian maintenance casualties, maintenance shenanigans. Russian media says A Russian Su-34 plane crashed in North Ossetia. The Ministry of Defense reported this. It crashed in a mountainous area while performing a scheduled training flight. The crew of the plane died. According to preliminary information, the cause of the disaster was technical malfunction. Ooh la la, very nice. Again, Russians are not maintaining their planes, their ships, any kind of hardware they have in the army results directly in their military capabilities decreased because the ships go kaboom, the planes fall out of the sky, the choppers go kaboom, boom, boom, and it's beautiful. I hope Russians never learn how to maintain properly. Now, my friends, we're going to watch a video from Senator Lindsey Graham. I know half of you don't like him, other half loves him. Whatever you do, if you like him, if you hate him, this information is important. And it is true. Now, I'm not a supporter of him since I don't take part in the United States internal politics, since I cannot, because I'm from Estonia and I have no right to comment on it, because I'm not from the United States. I leave that to the more professional people about this. But Lindsey Graham has a message that is important for this war, so we'll watch this 45-second video.
They're sitting on $10 to $12 trillion of critical minerals in Ukraine. They could be the richest country in all of Europe. I don't want to give that money and those assets to Putin to share with China. If we help Ukraine now, they can become the best business partner we ever dreamed of. That $10 to $12 trillion of critical mineral assets could be used by Ukraine and the West, not given to Putin and China. This is a very big deal how Ukraine ends. Let's help them win a war we can't afford to lose. Let's find a solution to this war. But they're sitting on a gold mine to give Putin $10 or $12 trillion of critical minerals that he will share with China.
There is a point to this. Ukraine is incredibly mineral-rich country. They even have natural gas, even a little bit of oil, but they have rare earth minerals, which like 10 trillion. There has been researches and studies about what's underneath, especially in Donbass, insane amounts. Now, if Russia gets their hands on it, it will be shared with China, of course, with very cheap prices. And China and Russia together can weaponize all of that against Europe, against the West, since that would boost up their car production, electrical vehicle production, electronics, everything that needs rare earth minerals, which is almost everything nowadays. If they get their hands on this, it's trouble for the West and its entire economic system. So, for the fact of Ukraine and Estonia and European Union and democracy, but also for this economic reason, they cannot have this victory. Now, my friends, I'll jump back a little bit to the yesterday's topic. It was big bombshell of a news yesterday that Russian 5th generation fighter jet Su-57 was destroyed in an airfield where Ukrainian drones landed. Now, Russian military blogger Fighter Bomber actually reports that it was not one but two Su-57s that were damaged. And he says, and I quote, "In order not to get up twice, I would say that two Su-57s were damaged. The second Su-57 received minor damage, which will be repaired on the spot." Now, my friends, look, this is a real satellite photo of the Su-57. You can see these little rings going above the plane. This is a temporary hangar, actually. It's made of some kind of a plastic/cloth thingy, military green. This burned to the ground, of course. This is the metal rod that went through it, and the sheet it looks like that. There's a photo. Of course there is. Now, this is what it looked like. It burned to the ground. Now, but I want to guide your attention to another detail. Look at this. Su-57, Su-57, and Su-57. Three of them. These are real. But look at this one. What is this? This is painted. A fake Su-57. Russians painted this on this airfield because they were expecting an attack and thought, okay, we're going to paint this decoy since it looks so real, Ukraine is probably going to attack that. So, what can we establish? The fact that they were holding Su-57s, their most prized and newest and expensive fighter jets, in an airfield where they were expecting an attack. And their defense against that was to paint another fourth plane fighter jet next to the first real 3 planes. Because you see, Ivan, when you paint fake plane, Ukraine is not gonna attack real plane. I guess their gamble failed. Ukrainians knew which one was the real one and attacked that one. I cannot believe this is the defense mechanism against such an important fighter jet. And this is of course after the destruction, bada bim, bada boom, and the hangar burned down. My friends, do you remember when Russian Volunteer Corps went into their shenanigans into Russia over the border? The fighting happened in Shebekino settlement. Now, Shebekino is of course under Russian control. Again, it is a Russian settlement after all, but there is the command post in Shebekino of the 6th Combined Arms Army of the Russian Federation. Now, Ukrainians struck that command post, and we have a photo. This was the command post. It is no more. Command posts usually filled with officers, soldiers, higher-ups. Well, they are also no more. Claimed strike on the Russian command post of the 6th Combined Arms Army yesterday in Shebekino, Belgorod region. The command post was deployed at the Nezhegol Recreation Center near the settlement of Shebekino. The command post controlled the units that are taking part in the offensive operation in Vovchansk, Kharkiv region. At the moment, 8 army officers are considered missing. Also, it is worth noting that Nezhegol Recreation Center appeared on the target list of the Ukrainian armed forces, which intelligence warned the 6th Army about it at least a week before the strike. So, the Combined Arms Chief of Staff knew that this location is in the strike list of the Ukrainian Foreign Military Intelligence, and they did not do anything about it. They thought it's a bluff. Well, my friend, it wasn't a bluff. It went kaboom. You can see here it is. Vovchansk is here. This is the newly opened Russian Kharkiv front, and this 6th Combined Arms Army headquarters is no more. I gotta say, it looks pretty beautiful. Look at this. I would like to come to have a vacation here. 2 tennis courts, nice little house, sun is shining, woods. Damn, I would have my morning run. I would learn how to play tennis. Well, too bad. But while we're at the topic of Russian units that are almost completely eliminated, now I will bring to you the 41st Motorized Rifle Regiment. They have completely lost their combat capability. After the regiment was defeated in Vovchansk, at the very same region, by the way, where the 6th Combined Arms Army was deployed, its soldiers were captured, and the unit was withdrawn from the territory of Ukraine. The occupiers allegedly accused the Russian military group North and its commander General Alexander Lapin in incompetence on their personal public pages. And now let's read some snippets from the Russian Telegram chatter, so you know how they feel about it, how the soldiers feel about it. Here people write that one of the groups of the 41st Motorized Rifle Regiment was captured. Some rooster knew about the superior forces of the enemy, but still sent a small group. The Bidora on the land of the Russian did not transfer. How are you doing there, bro? Yes, this is some kind of effed up. We were so spoiled, there are no words. The command killed a lot of people with moronic orders. Tough. I saw that a whole group of yours was captured. Is that true? Yes, that's a different story. By the way, I remember that story. It was a week and a half ago, and about 60 Russian soldiers were in that group. 60 Russian soldiers captured at once. This is what we're talking about. This is how that regiment lost their combat capabilities and were fully withdrawn. Yes, that's a different story. We visited Lapin the other day. Well, then you saw it yourself. There was such a scandal there. No one expected it to receive such publicity. Then all the crap were running around here. But this is for the best. They are withdrawing us. Part of the regiment has already reached the rear. So the regiment lost all of their combat capabilities, meaning their fighting force was officially under 50%. They were pulled back to the rear. And now, my friends, I will bring you analysis from Finnish NAFO fella Joni Askola, and actually Joni will come to here, Estonia, right here into my studio today, 4 p.m. We are going to make a podcast. You can see that podcast on Artur Rehi podcast YouTube channel. Link is in the description below, and it will be uploaded on Monday. Every Monday is a podcast day. But now, what does Joni Askola give us? Ukraine produces its own glide bombs. That's very good news, since Russia produces them, unfortunately, very efficiently. So does the West, but the West produces them very slowly. Glide bombs have emerged as one of the notable successes of the Russian defense industry in this conflict. They are cost-effective, can be mass-produced, and inflict significant damage at the front. Fortunately, Ukraine has recently been receiving glide bombs from its allies, but the quantities remain insufficient. Ukraine faces shortages of both glide bombs and fighter jets and bombers. Nevertheless, Serhiy Golubtsov, the Chief of Aviation of the Air Force of Ukraine, announced that Ukraine will commence testing its own glide bombs in a few weeks. This is great, my friends. This also gives the West the feedback that we need, that Ukraine is carrying the bulk of the weapons production. They have their own self-propelled howitzer in production, their own missile Neptune, anti-ship missile, which was converted into land-to-land missile, 1,000 kilometers now. Now they're making glide bombs. They're making 150 millimeter howitzer rounds. They're making small arms rounds. They're making armored personnel vehicles and BTR-4s. So they will be or are already making most of the vital weaponry that is needed to win a war against Russia. And in 10 years, mark my words, my friends, Europe will buy weapons from Ukraine. Look at my friends, Rehi, Frank, Fundraiser. We have only $600 right now. We're trying to get to 20. I am going with my wife to Ukraine in July. Before 22nd of June, we gotta finish this fundraiser, since I'm driving in this car with my newly wedded wife. So help me get to 20K. Let's also welcome Frank as the newest member to Artur's army, and he's a legendary NAFO supporter of Ukraine also, so you know he's a good guy. We all share the same goal. And here, my friends, Frank is famous for his elevator photos with Ukrainian themed clothing. And here you can see Rehi Frank patch number 3. You can start collecting them. If you donate to any of my fundraisers over 200 USD, I will send you the patch. Previous patches have already been sent out. You should receive them very shortly. And you can have a wall with all of the numbered patches. Now, these cannot be bought from anywhere. They can only be acquired when you donate. I will be personally driving this car to Ukraine with my wife. The link to donate is in the description below. Go and do it. Until my next video, my friends, which is tomorrow, so be back. Slava Ukraini, and bye-bye.